Hello, Big Macher. My name is Savannah Gross, or Savvy. I am currently enrolled in the film program here at Full Sail University, and I have been working on a project that I'm sure will amaze you. My project is a horror fantasy flick called Devil's Night, as you can see with the beautiful mock-up poster behind me. and here it goes. Enjoy. My primary inspiration for Devil's Night was the fact that in my life I had seen numerous teen college horror flicks, and most of them were painfully predictable, and just seemed to thrive too much on using the classic horror movie cliches to their advantage. And another factor was just, well, the majority of them were slashers, and I love slashers as much as the next person, but with my movie's setting and characters, I don't want it to follow the standard cliche teen slasher formula. I want this film to stand out as its own film and exceed audience expectations. Another inspiration for this was merely just listening to music. I like to write to music, so whatever songs I put in this movie, I have it either, connect with an event that happens in the film or a character's personality, and I find a way to weave those songs into sort of this one narrative. So that way it has a way of telling the story through the music. The protagonist of the movie is Braden Thwaites, who is an underclassman at the fictional Riker Ridge University. He is also a member of the Epsilon Delta Phi fraternity and is a descendant of the leader of the Golden Order of Knights, Sir William Alexander Thwaites. Braden is loyal, kind-hearted, selfless, and isn't afraid to stand up for his friends. And even though he ranks as a popular guy, he doesn't believe in the separation of cliques, and due to this and his friendly nature, he is friends with almost everyone at school. His love interest is Jessie Baker, a shy, supernatural-loving cheerleader with whom he's been best friends with since first grade, who is also a descendant of a witch who had aided the Knights in the past. Our antagonist is Abaddon, a vicious, downtrodden demon from hell, who is also the devil's second cousin, twice removed. His name comes from the Greek term, the Destroyer. Before he was defeated by the Golden Order of Knights 550 years earlier, Abaddon had grown sick and tired of living in his cousin's shadow, and he wanted to prove to his family that he could cause as much mayhem and destruction as they have. So with this, he launched his rebellion and built his army, along with the fallen angel Renato as his indentured henchman. He attempted to annihilate all humanity left on Earth, only to be defeated and made the laughingstock of hell. The principal conflict in this film is that our protagonists have to deal with the fact that defeating Abaddon and his army is their true destiny. And they are living proof, and even though they don't know it, they're living proof that the bravery and will of those people who had defeated these demons centuries earlier is still alive and kicking in each and every one of them. And while the characters have their flaws and their insecurities, they learn that even the most flawed people can be courageous. The film opens in the middle of the battle between Abaddon's army and the Knights. In the end, they win and are labeled heroes. Fast forward 5.5 centuries later, their descendants are about to attend an end-of-the-year bash at the prestigious Riker Ridge University. However, the party comes to a crashing halt when a vortex violently sucks the frat house into another dimension, hurling the majority of partygoers out and leaving the 10 descendants inside. The group realizes that they have been summoned by Abaddon, the leader of Banished Army, who challenges them to see if they are worthy of defeating him like their ancestors were. In the end, only Braden, Jessie, Desi, and Spence remain, along with Renato, who has defected to their team. After Jessie's freed from a spell put on her by Abaddon, the group rushes back to the house in order to summon the vortex to send them back home. Abaddon then tracks them down, and having absorbed the devil's powers after killing him, decides to challenge them one last time. Renato and Jessie finally defeat Abaddon, but not before he kills Renato. Renato uses the last of his powers to get Jessie back into the house before the vortex transports them back. The four return to the real world and slowly walk down Greek Row, away from the house and into the sunrise. Though a vast majority of Devil's Night has remained the same throughout this month, the fantasy element, however, has found a way of slowly integrating its way more and more into the plot and playing a much larger role. I mean, after all, with the film's setting, having demons, outlandish creatures, and an entire realm of supernatural characteristics, the fantasy element gives that gives you something to play off of. If there's anyone whose name I have attached to this project, it has to be Wes Craven. Wes Craven has been hailed as one of the greatest horror directors of our time, and when you have someone like him at the helm on a film like Devil's Night, you know that he will provide the perfect balance of humor and scares that will attract the core audience for Devil's Night. And as for distribution, the production company Rogue, whose primary objective is to attach their names to specific genres to enhance mainstream appeal. And with that, they will have the appropriate drive and dedication to attract the core audience for this film. The primary target audience for Devil's Night will be horror fantasy fans in the 17 to 25 demographic. And it has a little bit of something for everybody. It's not just for men, it's not just for women, it's for everyone. You got the action for the guys, and you got the romance story between Brandon and Jesse for the girls. And this film will benefit from people who are not only diehard Wes Craven fans, who admire the combination of razor sharp wit and intense scares and action. And with that, you will have the perfect horror-going audience. And with the fantasy added into it, you'll also have this film will also benefit from the Neil Gaiman fans, people who admire strange fantasy worlds, people who like seeing things that are just so not of the norm. So with my movie, think Scream meets Mirror Mask. And as for the publicity campaign, both transmedia and social media, I plan to capture their attention through creative ways that will get them talking. As for the transmedia portion, I plan to do 3 things. 1, release the film's soundtrack, which will feature songs that are from and inspired by the film, along with an additional disc which will be titled the Epsilon Delta Phi Ultimate Ranger Mix. And this bonus CD will contain songs that didn't make it into the film, various remixes, mashups, and club music that will pretty much give off the atmosphere of a college party. And another idea I have in mind is to release a Devil's Night virtual reality video game done in the style of Oculus Rift. You can either play a demon or a human, and you have to complete the objectives that are given to you in order to win. And since I would personally love for Monster Energy to sponsor this film, they will release limited time flavors that tie in with the movie that will be connected to either a character, an event of the movie, or an inanimate object. It could be anything from the film. For social media, I hope to create an interactive campaign that will get people hyped for the film even more. The website will provide links to characters' Twitter pages, the fictional Riker Ridge University website, a Epsilon Delta Phi blog, and with the Twitter pages, fans can interact with the characters and engage in conversation with them. And each week, one of the characters will release a message that is done completely in code and is very complex. And by the end of the week, their followers have to decode that message. And those who do will receive exclusive Devil's Night apparel and merchandise. The final stop on the social media campaign will be for those who are looking forward to this movie to use Instagram, encouraging them to use Instagram. So with this, they will look for the Epsilon Delta Phi symbol, which will be hidden in coffee shops, malls, stores, and restaurants in various parts of the world. And those who find the most will win a screening of the film in their hometown weeks before it's released. And as for the merchandise and apparel for Devil's Night, it's honestly no question that Hot Topic would be the perfect vehicle for marketing a film like this. Since Hot Topic has had involvement with other popular TV shows and movies like Supernatural and The Nightmare Before Christmas, they've created eye-catching merch that has captured the attention of their target demographic, which is teenagers and young adults, much similar to the demographic of Devil's Night. So with that in mind, Hot Topic will no doubt be the perfect marketing vehicle. I know lately you may have seen some other brilliant projects pitched to you, and But believe me when I say that this is the one that you're looking for. Devil's Night is a fresh horror film with relatable characters and non-stop surprises and exciting edge-of-your-seat suspense. I can personally guarantee you that people will be talking about this film years down the road and it will be regarded as a classic. You will not be disappointed. So, thank you very much for your time, and I can't wait to hear from you. Bye!